What's going on, everybody? It is 2 o'clock. How y'all doing? How y'all doing, man? Definitely blessed and highly favored today. Do not get on the screen talking about my road. My wife got this air on. I'm starting to get a sore throat in the middle of the summertime, y'all, which I don't understand. But it is cold. I got this heater, little space heater right next to me. My door closed here in my office. So, um, I kept on saying something was on my. Made the thing orange. I'm feeling too. Okay, I got it off. Um, let's hold on. I gotta do something else. What up, though? Hey, y'all, that's funny. Shout out to Black Rambo, which I've been following him for a while. But before he came out, man, I swear everybody at my job called me Black Rambo. And when I saw White Rambo, uh, which Jason's like, man, when I met him at the meetup 4, he reminded me of myself, high energetic. So he my other twin, y'all. Shout out to my twin Rambo. So that's funny when I saw White Rambo up there. That's funny because everybody at my job call me Black Rambo, and they've been calling me that for years. And I've been at that job for about 13 years now. The last 13, 14 years. And so when I saw that, and when I met him at on 4, and that I thought that was funny. So shout out to my twin. What's going on, Jason? I know what I want to do. We're gonna talk about we're gonna highlight. Y'all gonna hear me doing this all day through this live. I swear to God. That's right, that's right. Absolutely. That's my twin. You ain't gotta hey. I know, right, Rambo? Right, Jason? Don't worry about it. That's my brother, man. I enjoyed them when I went to 4 in Ohio. Got to meet them. You know, the Ewings. Great set of people. Who at my door? Somebody at my door. I don't know who at my door, but somebody at my door. Great group of people, man. Love them both. Oh, and I still have her cup. I gotta send her cup off, and I gotta still send the mags off, y'all. Don't kill me, Miss Ewing. The money been funny. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Cause it's all coming out of my pocket. Nobody sponsors my channel. Nobody likes me. No, I'm just playing, y'all. But let me do something. I was trying to do something before I read what I read. Man, it is cold in my house, boy. Oh, absolutely. I'll be at Arm 6 for sure. I'm not going. Now, my family trying to do a mini vacation. If y'all doing it around June, I'm not coming. I will see y'all the following year if God be. Bless me to get to that next family vacation, but I'm not doing a mini vacation with y'all. I love y'all to death, but y'all just not gonna take over. Y'all just not gonna take over every year. What's up, firearms? Y'all just not gonna take over every year. And I love my family to death. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I don't love them, but y'all just not about to take over every year. I have event to go to every other year, and I done cut. Hold on, y'all. Trying to get somebody to highlight. There's guns in. Let me see if I can find him. Man, no. What?
Me.
Who is me?
Now, hi, Uncle Jamal.
Hey, boy.
Hi.
What y'all doing?
Nothing.
I heard you did good yesterday at the game.
Yeah, I stopped somebody from making touchdowns.
I heard. And you made it. I heard you had an interception, too.
Yeah.
All right. I ain't know football season started for y'all yet.
Yep.
Okay, I'll be out in a minute.
Okay.
All right, love you. I'm at y'all. My nephews came over. I'm trying to find it, man, just when I need to find his channel. Y'all, hold on. I'm trying to find some. I know. That's what's up, Armel. Yeah. Yeah, but man, they trying to do a mini trip, bro. I'm not trying to. I can't do 2 trips in 1 year, so I won't be going on a mini trip.
Hi, Uncle Jamal.
What's going on, man? God and guns. Yeah, God and guns. It's hold on, y'all. I used to be able to find it all the time. Now I can't find it when I put in God and guns. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna have to go through my subscriptions. Hopefully, I can find them. Who is this? I might have to feature somebody else, y'all. Cody Rhodes won the King of the Ring. We got Jade Cargill, Roy Queen of the Ring. All right, y'all, we just gonna find somebody. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to find, which I can't find. Hold on, y'all. Let me just pick somebody. My wife had it so cold in the house the last 2 weeks, and I got a cold. It's hot as hell outside, but it's cold as hell in my house. Well, it's gonna go 2-8. Everybody know 2-8 in LA. Don't get it twisted. That's the big homie 2-8 in LA. We're gonna go ahead and hit one of his videos because I can't find who I want to find. And we're gonna go from there. And y'all, he is on his 2011. Oh, you sent it? Don't worry about it. I'm gonna do 2-8 in LA. Thanks. No. Mm-mm. Okay, y'all, we can go with 2-8 in LA. Everybody know him, especially if you in this chat. You already know who he is. You know who he is. So we're gonna go ahead and hit him. one of my brothers in this 2A community. And then we're gonna jump over to what we're gonna talk about today. And it's been 2 events here in Michigan. We're gonna go to one of his. When I tell you this boy got some guns, I would definitely give up my collection for his. All right, this one is titled "Because I Can."
I don't get, like, why do you think you need to own guns?
Well, aside from the multitude of practical applications and the fact that the Second Amendment to the Constitution grants me the legal right to, I just think they're neat. And last time I checked, we lived in a free fucking country, so that's plenty good enough reason for me.
Shout out to the big homie, 2A in LA. Definitely the big homie, and what he's doing over there. Definitely go check him out. Definitely go check my brother out. And let's get into what we want to talk about. This past week here in Michigan, but Detroit, they had their fireworks. When was that? I had to work, so I wasn't going no way. I haven't been to Detroit's downtown fireworks. Whew. I want to say when my daughter wasn't born, and I want to say when my son was right around 2 or 3, or my daughter might have been at just under a year old. And my son, if she was under a year old, that means my son had to be about 3 going on 4, or just turned 4. So I haven't been downtown to see a fireworks because it's a lot of young people down there. That's the one thing. And also, as long as I can remember, it's always been a shooting for the last 4 to 6 years. It's always been a shooting down there, some sort. But they also, a lot of times, I ain't say what's up, Baton Rouge. A lot of times, like a lot of people, because my homeboy, he had to go grab his daughter or son, and you can only go so far downtown before they block downtown off. So if you don't know nobody that stay near downtown, or you don't know nobody that's near downtown, then you're not getting downtown after a certain amount of time. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Blocked off, construction. And we got a lot of construction down there as well. And so a lot of ways you would go, you couldn't go. And according to my homeboy, he said he had to go around and go some other where to be able to get to his daughter. And so he took him all the way around and here, there, and back and forth till he finally got to his daughter. I don't go. I don't care to go. Matter of fact, where I work at, you can actually go out to my job's parking lot, sit on your roof of your car, or you can walk a block down and go over, and you can actually sit on the freeway, not literally on it, but it's the overpass above the freeway. You can literally sit up there and watch the fireworks from there. And so a lot of times I'm usually at work. Like I said, I always work I've been on a night shift for a couple of years. Now that I'm on the evening shift, it's still where I don't have to go nowhere. I can literally go out my job, walk maybe 100, maybe about 500 feet to the parking lot, and I can sit on my car and watch the fireworks go off from there. So none of my kids are older. They don't care for it. I don't care to really take them to the Detroit fireworks downtown just because of ignorance. I don't have time to shoot nobody over something ignorant, something foolish. So I've been having to work. That's been a saving grace the last couple of years. I've been having to work. And so and my wife's not going to go with the killed children by herself. So just a lot of ignorant stuff goes on down there when fireworks are involved. And so you had 2 guys that they're looking for now. I don't know if they caught them or not yet. But they have their names and their pictures plastered out there and circling the Detroit news or whatnot. And so it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? And like you could only go so far anyway. Like they have down here, you can literally see Canada from across the water. So it's us, Michigan, and across the water you can see Canada. I mean, that's how close Canada is to Detroit, downtown. And so you can't really do anything. Well, I'm not gonna say anything. Depend on what time it is and what type of event it is. Fireworks, I believe they did have security down there and had people checking people where you can't get on the boardwalk with firearms. Now, I've allegedly heard that people do walk with their firearms. Depending, like I said, depends on if it's a big event. If it's just out the week or the weekend, from what I've heard, there's no security down there. So, but in that case, with Plaza, and the thing like that, I think they had security down there that night. So it wasn't on the boardwalk or the I forgot what they called it, because you can do the boardwalk from downtown and you can walk it all the way to Belle Isle, which is now a national park here in Michigan, Detroit, which stretches to where you can literally see Canada as you walk that boardwalk, or we call it the Riverwalk, as you walk the Riverwalk of Detroit. So it is what it is. I don't go down there with certain events going on. Now, if it's like a jazz, blues type thing, I go, because you're not gonna get too many young people at a blues and jazz festival or arts, beats, and eat. You're not gonna get too many young people out there for that type of stuff, and so you might catch me at one of those type events. But as far as the fireworks or anything really hip hop, I don't care to go and deal with. And so I just stay at home, or I'm usually at work anyway. So, hey, I'm not missing out on that. So, yeah, that was the news here. I'm gonna show you a clip of that. And then recently, it's probably no more than about 2 weeks old. A gunman tried to go shoot up a church, but was stopped by, I believe they had hired security. And so what I'm hearing, I'm not going to say, but what I'm hearing is that the security guard ran them over with the truck, and I believe it was deacons of the church. I don't know, I could be wrong, that underlied the suspect right there on church grounds. Do you believe, and it is just something that I'm gonna ask once I want this to be on your minds. Do you believe it's necessary to carry a firearm other than a government building? Because normally you have some type of security, you have some type of armed security in them type of buildings. Government buildings, I wasn't too much worried about. I don't think nobody's really gonna do nothing in the government building. Courthouse, places like that are metal detected, and so unless you got something real slick on you, a lot of times you're not gonna be able to get a firearm. Usually, I'm not gonna say you can't never, but usually, if you're going through the front door of a courtroom, federal building, government building, but a lot of times you're not going to be able to get anything through the front door. Most of the time, I want to say about 90% of the time, you're not going to get nothing through that door. Other than buildings like that. Now, I'm 50-50 with schools. And the reason why I say I'm 50-50 with schools is because when my son was going to Head Start, and this is the reason why the 50 no and the 50 yes, but the real reason for 50 no is, and at this time I wasn't carrying any firearms. I didn't know anything about firearms at the time. I didn't really care about firearms. So my son now is 14 going on 15. So this tells you how long ago this was when my son was in Head Start. And so this young man, and now mind you, I'm in and out of school. I'm part of the parent committee. I'm heavily involved in the Head Start as an active father, as an active volunteer, and as an active member of the parent committee. And so we had dogs. What's it? Dare dogs or something. It stands for dad something something. Dads on guard or something like that. It was an entity inside the Head Start to encourage fathers to be in their children's lives. Come to the school, volunteer, be active in your children's life. And so that was part of an entity within that self. So I was a part of that as well. So I was heavily involved. But this, I remember this one day, a young man came to pick up his daughter. And I overheard him say, now I don't know if he had a firearm or what, but I overheard him say, yeah, this is some to the source of, this is to handle business if anybody messing with you. And it'll put him down. And it's something like that. So I'm not going to say I saw a firearm, but just by the way he was speaking, I believe he might have had a firearm with him when he came to pick up his daughter from Head Start. That's what the 50% of no is about. Because you have some people that is out here carrying firearms, but you are giving your daughter the wrong example of how to handle yourself when dealing with people. And so I haven't gave a question, but my thing is I'm gonna roll this clip and then I'm gonna get into what I'm gonna get into integrity firearms. So I'm about to play this clip for y'all. Y'all let me know here in Michigan. It was a suburban city. They say metropolitan area. That's not metro Detroit. They associate everything here with Detroit. This is not Detroit. This is a suburb outside Detroit. But they always say Metro Detroit. This is not Metro Detroit. This is a suburb outside the city of Detroit. So you might hear them say Metro Detroit. This is not Metro Detroit. This is out, but for some reason they want to tag everything that's going on in the inner city of Detroit. It's not just, I'll give you an example. Saginaw. They don't just say Saginaw. They say the Detroit metro area, which they're putting a stain on the inner city of Detroit. So if you hear that, it's not Detroit. This happened in the suburbs of Michigan, not Detroit. Okay. So let me go here and then I'll pose the question. Because I want you to see this before I get y'all to answer this question. Oh no, I need to take that one off. So hold on, let me take, no, I don't really need to. Let me do some. And I'm gonna invite anybody that want to come on the panel and say your piece. I forgot to do that. I'm used to doing it. Hold on. No, what the heck? Okay, so we're gonna share screen. Let's go. Police praise church members. So in this case, police praise historical church members who ran over gunmen, prevented mass shooting in Michigan. So this is my state. We're going to get into what's going on. Y'all let me know if you can hear the audio or not. But I believe I'm more than likely y'all can hear the audio. So let's go on ahead and go and hit this. So let's go.
Church in Wayne, Michigan was holding a special vacation Bible school service when the gunman opened fire outside.
Please, everybody come to the back.
Ring camera video near the church also captured what seemed to be multiple rounds of gunfire. Police say the gunman was driving erratically near the church, then got out of his vehicle wearing a tactical vest and carrying a rifle and a handgun, and began firing as he approached the building. That's when a church member and other staffers confronted him.
A parishioner struck the gunman with his vehicle as the gunman shot the vehicle repeatedly. At least 2 staff members shot the gunman, causing fatal wounds.
The gunman has been identified as 31-year-old Brian Anthony Browning from a nearby town. Police initially said the man had no connection to the church, but other reports say Browning's mother is a member and that the suspect attended 2 or 3 services over the course of the last year.
We are grateful for the heroic actions of the church's staff members, who undoubtedly saved many lives and prevented a large-scale mass shooting.
One church member was shot in the leg during the incident. The pastor said church members and staff have been trained to respond to emergency situations, which saved lives. Dale Hurd, CBN News.
So, the question to y'all is, should there, and I don't believe there should be, but we're going to get into it, gun-free zones? Which, of course, if you're a firearm owner, the answer to that is no, there shouldn't be. As far as government buildings, federal buildings, a lot of them have armed security. Unless the armed security gets unalived, most of the time you're not going to be able to get firearms through the front door. Is there other ways you can get firearms in federal, government, federal buildings? Yes, there is. And so I don't believe that would be an issue for them to be able to put a gunman down. Secondly, I am 50-50 with schools. You have some parents that don't think before reacting. So that's why I'm on 50-50 with the school system. Because I don't want somebody's mother or father coming in. And I'm going to tell you this, I had an issue with a young lady when it dealt with my son. I'm a gun owner. But being a gun owner, you have to think about what's going on. And thinking is very critical if you're going to put a firearm in anyone's hand. And so the mother was very belligerent, very, very ghetto, very, very annoying as a mother. And so sometime in that case, I'm 50-50 with the school, because I didn't. And then my daughter had an incident with a young boy that put her in a headlock, and she was kind of upset. So I've been on both sides. Somebody picking on my son, and then somebody literally putting their hands on my daughter. And so I've been on both sides of the spectrum when it came to that. Was I pissed off that the young man got in my daughter's space and put his hands on him? Whatever he was going through at home, I really didn't give a, you know what? The fact that he put his hands on my small daughter. My daughter is not that big. My daughter is a small little thing. And they said the boy was kind of on the healthy side, so husky side. And so you have to, in certain situations, you definitely have to think about, them things. Because my son wanted to go beat the little boy up. My son was in middle school at the time. I said, no, it's always a right way to deal with things. And I didn't want him catching no charge for beating up a little kid. So the answer to him was no, you're not going up there. I will handle it. I will get with the principal. But they end up suspending the young man. The mother was very, very mad at the son. So he just maybe was having a bad day. And I'm not going to make that excuse, because he never should have put his hands on my daughter, period. But as a gun owner, you can't go in there riled up, go shoot the parents of the kid. Go assault the parent of the kid. And now you're in a whole nother different situation. So for me, schools are 50-50 with me when it comes to parents carrying. Only because some parents are not thinking. They might be thinking, but they're not thinking in a, I don't want to say responsible way, because we all deal with our children different, and what comes their way, you react accordingly. And so schools are up in the air with me, but anywhere else, elementary, middle school, high school, I'm more a 70-30, yes, 70, no 30. And so I'm not too with parents and schools, but in that case, you had church members that were trained, and people got to understand, hey, in the Bible it say peace be still, and I could definitely make somebody steal with my peace, if you know what I'm saying. And so I believe in every church, because this is not the only time that somebody decides they was going to go shoot or going to go unalive people in the building. So I praise that pastor for getting the members that are carrying, the deacons in that church that are carrying the proper training to be able to respond to a mass shooting. He's not naive to the fact that someone can come into the church and do bodily harm to people that's in the church. And so to him, I recommend him not listening to the world, but actually putting his congregation in the best situation possible. Hold on, y'all. Let me go ahead and copy this. If you want to get in here, you can. I just pasted the link down at the bottom. Some of y'all can go and pop up in here. I definitely put you on the screen. I agree. We definitely don't live in a perfect world. But with the one thing that when they start doing the movie theaters, what do you just, what I'm saying, when you had the couple years ago, when you had the guy come in dressed as Joker and start shooting up the movie theater, then a couple months later, then it was, well, no firearms in movie theaters. Fool! You just had somebody come in and just unalive people in a movie theater. You think I'm gonna leave my? First of all, I'm paying y'all to see a movie, not to get unalived at a movie. So if I'm going to the movies, please believe I'm gonna have that stick somewhere on me. You ain't gonna be able to see it. The security guards they have in the movie theaters ain't gonna be able to see it, but it's on me with an extra magazine. So if you see me in the theater, I'm gonna have at least 25 or more rounds on me somewhere on my person, because you is not about to catch me slipping. What's up, OG Tank? At no movie theater. It's not happening. And I paid my money, so I'm carrying. Y'all only got one police officer in the building. He gets shot, take his fire. He gets shot and unalive. Then we all up a creek. But don't, let me put it this way. 2 movie theaters that I go to, one has a actual cop on the premises, and you have one that I go to that doesn't have a cop on the premises. So for me, I don't really go to bars, so bars I don't really care for. I don't really go to them. So, and I understand why guns and liquor is not the perfect situation in most people's possession. I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't gonna lie to you. Okay. Okay. Yeah, they are crazy. So if I a lot of times if it requires me, if it's not on me, it's somewhere where I can run out and go grab it. That's for sure. Uh, I know when I go. Let me see. I do know when my daughter cheers, I do leave it. I do leave it in the car. I do leave it in the car in the lockbox. I do that because a lot of times they have people there that has either a metal detector or the wave for the metal detector. So a lot of times I won't have it on me, but it's if I gotta climb that scale, that fence to go get it, I'm going to go get it. And so in that case, it's nothing for me to run to a fence, jump, climb up it, climb down it, and go grab what I need to grab to handle business to get my family out of that situation. Yeah, that definitely goes south, especially with these youngsters, man. They ain't no joke. All right, so that one was I commend because my pastor knows I carry. I don't think I'm the only one that carries in my church. It's me, my father-in-law, and the pastor. So we're pretty much, for the most part, are the only males. We're actually sharing it. We're actually in someone else's congregation, somebody else's sanctuary, and so my pastor knows. And so, like I said, when we was at another church, we had random people coming to church while we had service. And so I've always carried, before his father passed, I would go with him and go to different churches and have my firearm. But it depends on where I go. If I'm going to the east side, I have a little bit of extra on me. I have my shotgun, or I have my PCC, or I have my AR-15 in the trunk. Because I would, at this point, we was doing late night services. And so, I would be one of the last ones to leave to make sure the pastor and the first lady got. And they had deacons at the church as well. But I've been carrying for a very long time, since when his father was alive, and used to go with him and do things with him. But man, that's just what I've been doing since I've been got my CPL. So in that case, yeah, I've been carrying for a while. I've been carrying as a deacon now, before we lost our building, for particularly in the church, basically my whole time I had my CPL. So, but in that case, I commend that pastor for understanding the world that he lives in. Some people are just naive to not believe that it could happen in the church, when it happened so many times in the church that we, don't get me wrong, I love going to church, but at the same time, sometimes you have to do what you have to do in order to keep yourself on this side of the dirt. I don't know what to tell you. That's the only way I can tell you. I pray, I praise God, and I go to church, but at the same time, I understand the world that I live in. And I understand you're going to come across a fool here and there that you're going to warn, you're going to give them every warning in the book. And I hope I never have to do this, but the world seems like everything ticks everybody off. And you know what I'm saying, in a blink of an eye, while you trying to calm down and, hey, all right, you got it. It might be that day to where, hey, you got it ain't enough. You walking away ain't enough. This is the world we live in. And so, what can I say? I mean, just one day it might have to happen. I'm praying that it doesn't, but I'm not so naive to believe that it won't come visit me one day at my doorstep. And I want to be ready to be able to defend my family, defend myself, and to be able to stay on this side of the dirt and be judged by 12, then be carried by 6. So that's just, it is what it is. I know a lot of religious people don't agree with that, but hey, one thing I can say, I ain't your best shot, but put me in a prediction, put me in a situation where I gotta defend for my life, and you'll see a whole different side of Skilly. And I'm not bragging, but I'm just saying, when it comes to my kids, when it comes to their mother, my wife, it's just certain things I don't play with. And if you want to see that side, then just try. And you will see. But we're going to get into another one. We had another one. That was one incident here in Michigan. Oh, shoot. I ain't mean for that to happen. Drop the bag. What did I put in mine? I gotta put it in missing. Okay, y'all. This is another one that I wanted to talk about here in Michigan, like I said. And this was reported one day ago. So this was on Monday, June 23rd, which day is the 29th, before the fireworks display started. A fight escalated, 2 gunmen in the area, which they named their names. I'm not going to put their names out there. They started shooting. So, y'all, let's go here. You take your kids downtown, which I don't take mine anymore. I stopped taking them on quite some time ago. You got babies out there. You got women out there. You got the elderly out there, which I hope it ain't no elderly out there. It's just, this ain't the crowd that they want to be in. But I hope it wasn't no elderly out there, but it might have been. To just go simply see some fireworks. I'm just going to go see them pop off some fireworks. And normally where they do it, I believe, I can't remember where they do it now, but they used to do it off a boat or somewhere off the river. They might have an area where they shoot them off of, but I could be wrong. But I think they do it off the boat. Some sort of boat, but I don't think they do it no more. But it is a very nice firework display. But you have your ghetto ones down there. You have your ignorant ones down there that every year always turns it into something that it does not need to be. You got small children trying to enjoy themselves. You got people all over downtown trying to enjoy themselves. And like I said, but unfortunately, you have Pookie and Ray Ray down there that ain't got no sense. So I want to say this. I believe they were not on the Riverwalk. Like I said, I think you had to go through some metal detectors the night of the fireworks. So I don't believe it was on the Riverwalk. I want to say it was outside the Riverwalk, somewhere downtown. Group of people get into a big fight, and then somebody or one or two of them pull out a gun, then you know what happens next. So let's watch this video. Oh, and YouTube, this is educational purpose. These videos are used for educational purposes only. I forgot to say that before the first video. So, educational purposes only, y'all. We're not using it for anything else.
Possibly armed, dangerous, and on the run, Detroit police are urging the public to help bring an alleged shooter into custody after a shooting in downtown Detroit during the fireworks. Police believe the suspect is hiding out in a local hotel.
Encourage folks to leave their weapons at home, and not everybody listens.
This guy allegedly did 19-year-old Alfonso Cooper Jr. on the run after police say he was popping off rounds in a large crowd minutes before the massive fireworks display in downtown Detroit last Monday. Two shot, a 22-year-old woman, just an innocent bystander, and a 17-year-old boy who was the intended target.
The two knew each other, and that it was over a debt where approximately $200 and some change.
They brought the beef from Romulus and Brownstown Township downtown to settle, causing chaos in the crowds near Larned and Randolph. Cooper and his alleged account.
First of all, they don't even live in Detroit. They are in Romulus. They come, y'all. The company I used to work for, our headquarters was in Romulus. Romulus is where is our main airport, I believe, is in Romulus or outside the. Anyways, Romulus in Detroit, the metro, the Detroit airport is neighborhood. I mean, just right there. My homeboy used to live in Romulus. I mean, they just right there. I can get off at Romulus, go down, and my the company I used to work for, old headquarters, was located in Romulus. You may go towards my job and you make the headquarters, you make a left, right or left, and you'll be heading towards the airport. So I ain't brought this beef all the way from Romulus, come all the way to Detroit, where families are enjoying themselves for a dead beef, and they shoot. And this idiot, first of all, let me say this. I'm tired of people putting bad judgment on responsible gun owners. First of all, why should I have to leave my gun at home because these ignorant mofos? First of all, you're 19, so you shouldn't have had a pistol in the first place. You can't even get a pistol at 18. That's the first thing. Let's get that straight. So he probably got that gun, that firearm, that pistol illegally, unless he got it from somebody and a family member that don't know no better. But I don't think here in Michigan. You know what? Let me. Where my phone at? Let's add. Hold on, y'all. I'm about to do something. Let's go to this. What age can you purchase a pistol? I'm quite sure it's 21. Pistol in Michigan. We're gonna go Michigan. We're gonna go the whole state. Let's go. I'll get out of there. I don't want to see that. Okay, y'all. In Michigan, a person under the age of 18 generally may not possess a firearm in public except under the direct supervision of an adult 18 years or older. Persons under 18. No, I'm talking about, what about you? So Michigan prevents any person from knowingly selling a firearm more than 26 inches in length to a person under 18. Okay, Michigan also prohibits insurance of a handgun purchase license to any person under 18. If the handgun is to be purchased from a federal licensed dealer, the applicant must be age 21 or older. So here in Michigan, a concealed carry permit may not be issued to a person under 21 years of age. So first of all, Detroit Police Department, he's not even supposed to be in possession of a firearm. One is 19 and the other one is 17. So, and I'm quite sure whoever they came down there with, if they had some common sense, that they did not give that 19-year-old hold on, what is that? Under the direct supervision of an adult teen 18 years of older. I know nobody that's rolling with him that's over 21 is going to take on that responsibility to supervise him with a, first of all, he can't even carry. First of all, he can't, my thing is, with that even said, hold on, it say persons under 18 may possess a firearm while at or going to or from a target range or trap or skeet shooting ground if while going to or from the range or ground the firearm is enclosed and secure, fastened in a case or locked in the trunk of the motor vehicle. Persons under 18 may also possess a firearm while hunting under the authority of a hunting license on land upon which a parent or guardian is regularly with or where a parent or guardian or another adult at least 18 years authorized by a person, a parent or guardian accompanies the minor. So first of all, I'm quite sure they had a mama daddy down there with them. So that was the first violation. Nobody over 18 that's going to take responsibility for them having a gun in their hand. So let's stop for their negligence and their not knowing the letter of the law. Let's stop telling people like me, people like us in this community, that we should leave our guns at home when we don't do nothing but come and have a good time. Well, why do you need your gun? You never know when you might need your gun. But I'm not coming out here to start no trouble. They brought this from Romulus. Let me tell y'all. The fact that they from Romulus, which is no part of the Detroit metro area, to wait till y'all get to Detroit, that shows you how people don't care to come into the Detroit area and do their crimes. They not out there in Romulus shooting. They wait till all year, January, February, March, April, May, June. This is the end of June, the last second to last week in the month. To wait till the fireworks come. Bring that beef all the way down. Why y'all ain't do that in Romulus? Why y'all have to wait till y'all Detroit holds a big event and then y'all bring y'all tails down to the Detroit downtown and act a fool? That's all. Let me finish with the story, because that really rubbed me the wrong way when they said they had a beef and they're from Romulus, which is where the main airport is. Let me look up the address for the main airport. Detroit. Let's see where the airport is even located, but I think it's so the Detroit Metropolitan Wayne County Airport. That's our major airport that comes out of Michigan. And I'm trying to figure out where they at. So they're considered to be in Detroit. Romulus is on the outskirts of Detroit. So that's why they called it the metropolitan area, Detroit metropolitan area. but it's a suburb that sits right outside where the airport is. So you got, like I said, you got literally, you coming from Michigan, you make a right, you're in Romulus. You go down a couple blocks, you're in Romulus. The next exit is the Metropolitan. What do they call it? The Metropolitan International Airport. That is the next exit after you get off Romulus. Now that's what I had to used to do when I had to do my store meetings or our training. We had to go to our Romulus headquarters store. The reason why they're calling it Metro because they're one exit away from the main airport, which is, like I just said, I just looked it up, which is the Detroit Metropolitan Wayne County Airport. Which I think that's what I'm looking at. Right? I'm trying to give y'all an idea. Yeah, this is our main airport. So one exit is Romulus. You go down, you make the next exit, and you get to the airport. They consider that Detroit. Now the airport is in Detroit, but Romulus is right there, pretty much one turn, one exit before you get off and go into the airport from Detroit. So that's why they called it the Metropolitan Detroit area. The Detroit metropolitan area, which they always put Detroit in, which I don't understand. So you got Romulus, go a little bit further, you get off, you'll still be in Detroit, but you'll be going to the airport. So that's how close the airport is to Romulus. Now, let's give y'all an idea where they are coming from. They're out there by the main airport.
18-year-old Markolo Steen Jr. were able to slip out in the aftermath and into the wind.
I believe that he's hiding in a hotel room.
In the suburbs, not Detroit. Apparently, Cooper's family and friends told Detroit police detectives they'd hand him over this week, but never did. Chief Todd Bettison thinks instead they're helping hide him.
Trust me, I will be contacting the U.S. attorney, and I will use every aspect of law enforcement to hold you accountable as well for aiding and abetting.
The pressure is on to bring them into custody, and DPD is leaning on the public to help.
When you see his picture, or you see him anywhere, I do not want him to have an enjoyable, stress-free weekend.
Chief Bettison adding to post their pictures everywhere. They've already gotten a lot of tips, but they need more. Call Detroit Police if you have any information.
So let's get into this, and then I'm gonna close. I don't have too many people here today. I'm not gonna drag it out. I'm probably gonna go another 15 minutes. We're gonna talk about this right here. One thing I'm not doing, I'm not adding debating nobody. So you went out there, you did wrong. As my daddy always taught me, get ready to do your time. So that's one thing. Don't come to my house thinking I'm about to hide you out. I'm not hiding you out. That's even for my own children. You go out there, you do something you ain't got no business doing. Don't, because I work too hard to put my livelihood in danger because you out there being stupid. Don't come here. You're not welcome here. They not about to take my. I'm not about to go to jail because you ain't listening to what you was taught. So that's the first and foremost. I'm not hiding nobody. Don't come to my house. As far as I'm concerned, you on the run. Stay your butt on the run. And when they catch you, I see you in prison. And I'm not coming too often in prison. I don't like it. My daddy always told me he wasn't gonna come see me in prison. So, hey, I might see you when you first get in there, and then probably once a year or something. But I'm not gonna keep running down to no prison to come see you. That's not gonna happen. You might get one visit, and you might get one call a month. It ain't no call in my house all day. Them charges rack up. I ain't trying to pay them charges. So that's one and foremost. I'm not hiding in bed nobody. So one thing a cop ain't got to worry about with me is hiding anybody. Because I'm not about to lose what I done worked hard for. So that's the first thing. Second thing is you got these kids that not even supposed to have these. 17 and 18. Quite sure you weren't with nobody you supposed to be with. You weren't with your parents. You weren't with a older cousin that was gonna knock you upside the head. You weren't a cousin that's responsible. You weren't with nobody like that. So the fact that you had the pistol, we shouldn't have to leave our pistols at home because of idiots. I'ma say it. Maybe nobody taught them, and no uncle or a big cousin came by and took them to the range and gave them the full scopes of the consequences of doing what you're doing with a firearm. And so y'all got now they got to pay for what they did. They shot a young lady. I believe they said they shot the man that they attempted to, or the young man that they attempted to shoot. So now you got, even though it's an accident, you got the DEA can hit you with attempted murder for both. Luckily, nobody got unalive from their injuries, but if the DA really want to push it, they can push it for attempted murder, premeditated, or what, gun charges. You're gonna endanger the public, putting the public in danger. So you gotta. I'm quite sure they got about at least 6 to 10 charges on their head. Firing a firearm in a restricted area, endangering the public, 2 counts of attempted murder, discharging a firearm. So you got a slew of, I would say, from 5 to about 7 charges that they can stick on them young boys. Unfortunately, I'm the type, and I do this all the time. I tell people, don't give nobody no money that you can't afford to lose. Understand what I'm saying? If you cannot afford to lose it, then you can't afford to give it out. If you're going to get mad about it, you're going to get upset about it, don't give it out. Because and that's family, friends. If you can't afford to lose it, don't give it out. And so, if I gave out some money and I don't get it back, then guess what? I might be upset for the moment, but I'm not gonna dwell on it. And you know what the next response is gonna be when they ask me for it? I ain't got it. You'll never get another penny from me. And so, they carried it from suburbs to the metro Detroit metropolitan downtown area, which doesn't make any sense, man. Why don't y'all do that in Romulus? I'm not saying Romulus don't get any shootings, but don't nothing really come out of Romulus as far as shootings. I'm quite sure they have shootings just like any other area in the United States, but why y'all couldn't do that where y'all from? But they restrict us all day long. But the fact, what they needed to say was, this was a young man that was not legally able to own that gun without being in the presence of a parent or guardian. Why, when we tell y'all to leave y'all guns at home? No, I'm not a hothead. I don't need to leave my gun at home. I know how to de-escalate the situation. But at the same time, sometimes de-escalation can round somebody up, and to where the point that I'm not shooting. First of all, I'm not shooting in no air for a warning for nobody. You don't get your warning is step the hell back. That's your warning. I'm gonna let you have it today. Bye. If you don't understand that and you keep walking up, I am a legal firearm owner. Back up. You're in my personal space. I know how to handle myself, but sometimes you might have to put or unalive someone because they don't understand I'm good. You got it. You can have it. Today your day. But some people don't understand that type of language. So unfortunately, sometimes you have to defend your life due to people that don't care about life. And so that was just two of the stories recently that happened here in Michigan. Shout out to that pastor that has taught his congregation on mass shooters, how to respond, how to deal with them, letting his particular staff of the church, while they're in Bible study, go through the proper training to be able to handle such a devastating situation that could have turned out way worse. And so I believe if you're going to carry a firearm, if that's anywhere where you go and you're comfortable with, you should be able, I believe you should have the proper training. Go through some training, which they did, which they do. I know somebody that goes to church as well that I work with. Him and he's a deacon at his church, and they are actually qualified. They go through qualifications every year to be able to carry a firearm on the church premises. I have nothing against that. I kind of like that. That way you get to go through the training, you get to go through the process on how to think and react when situations like this come your way. And so I'm not opposed of it. So shout out to the pastor for understanding the world that he lives in. What's going on, Patrick? Him understanding the world that he lives in and not going off the quote unquote world view on what he needs to do. I'm glad he felt comfortable enough to get them guys that training. Unfortunately, the young man was unalive for his actions. And so you gotta live, and I tell my children, you gotta live with the consequences. So that was his consequence. He decided he wanted to go that day, take himself a rifle and a handgun, and go try to unalive innocent people that was doing nothing but minding their business. You know, not doing nothing to anybody, doing something in which they believe in, to be only almost unalive by someone who is he's undisturbed. I mean, he's disturbed, mentally disturbed. And so I believe if you're going to have people carry firearms, church, I believe there should be, and I want to kind of get into my pastor about that. But like I said, it's just me, my father-in-law, and my pastor. We're a small congregation, so. But training is very important when it comes to people's lives in your hands in a firearm situation, if you have to use it. Like I said, schools, I'm up and down because you got a lot of emotions. You got children in there. You got parents that care about their children. And it could be a lot worse than what it needed to be in the first place. So I'm 50-50 with the school. I'm 50, yeah, I'm 50, no. What's up, Bulletproof? But I seen a couple people that came in here, Bulletproof, Patrick G. I'm gonna run these two videos. Y'all let me know what y'all think. And I threw the link out there. I throw the link out there again. I was just about to get off, but it looked like some people came in. So I'll probably do about another 20 to 30 minutes then. I'm probably going to get off here. But we was talking about, places where you, quote unquote, gun-free zones. And they have been redoing downtown. Where they're talking about putting metal detectors in certain spots. Because when we did the draft, you can walk all through downtown. They kind of put a walkway and eating area and all that stuff downtown. And so they was talking about putting metal detectors in certain spots to where when you go, like I said, we got the river walk. So from the river walk, you can walk off the river walk, go across the street, and they have put that to where you can walk downtown. And so they was talking about putting metal detectors in certain spots downtown to where you won't be able to carry a firearm. Do you really think that's necessary? But I'm gonna say this, and this happened on Monday, on the 23rd. I think is when we did our fireworks for Detroit. They have a 17 and 18-year-old, I think they said, or a 17 and 19-year-old. And they in the first thing the Detroit police officers say, the chief says is, "We told you to leave your guns at home." First of all, they're not even legal to be able to carry them without a permit. You have to be 21 to get your license to be able to carry a firearm concealed. That, first of all, they ain't even supposed to have firearms. So that's just, don't even put people like me in that category. Let's not do that. They're not even supposed to be carrying pistols. And I'm quite sure anybody with some common sense in their family or friends is not going to let them, especially they beefing over, and the argument is they're beefing over $200 and some change. Mind you, they don't live in Detroit. They don't live in the Detroit metropolitan area. When you're going down, like you're going to the airport, and I'm gonna say this again, I had my headquarters when I used to work for a company called Napa. If you know about Napa, they all over there, the auto parts store. You would get off the exit Romulus. Now they're from Romulus, so they live in Romulus, according to the report. You come off Romulus and you take it down to maybe about 3 miles, and you're at my headquarters. Well, before you get to the headquarters where I was at, you had Tim Hortons, and then you had the Napa Auto Parts, the next building over. No, you had another building that you had Napa Auto Parts, which where our bosses was, but they also ran their storefront there. Well, if you make a left, you can get to the airport, which will make you be in Detroit at that point. Once you get to the Metropolitan Airport, whereas our main airport is. So if you're going, you get off at Romulus, well, the next exit is the airport. So that's why they call it the Detroit metropolitan area. That does not have nothing to do with Detroit. That is Romulus. That is a suburb outside the Detroit area. They beefing. The fireworks come Monday. You got families, you got children. I haven't been downtown for fireworks probably since my baby girl was born. She was a baby because I remember the car seat and the stroller. And my son had to be 3 going on 4, or he was just about to hit 4. He had just turned 4. That's the last time I've been. My son is he'll be a sophomore, second year in high school next year. So that tells you how long I done been downtown to go to a fireworks. I don't even go no more. I think the last 4 to 5 years it's been a shooting every time they do the fireworks. So too many young people down there for me. Too many knuckleheads that ain't supposed to own a pistol, toting pistols, beefing in the suburbs, and then want to bring it to Detroit and give Detroit a bad name. And then the cops want to say, And no, I ain't got nothing with the cops. Everybody know I'm trying to be in the sheriff department. But we got to call the spades a spades. He's not supposed to even have a firearm. So he should have left his gun at home regardless. Because he only got a concealed license. Here in Michigan, you got to be 21 to get a concealed license. So you ain't even old enough to even conceal a weapon, a pistol. So my thing is, let's call the spades a spade. He wasn't supposed to have one. Hold on, y'all. Let me. No, I'm sorry. 2 were killed.
So today's the day. I've got my
Sorry,
RTA
y'all.
mock
I thought-
system and
I thought
Coyote
you
appliances. And they did tell me it was only going to take a few minutes. And I got to say, they were right.
Tonight, we're learning more about a 4-year-old killed in a drive-by shooting.
His smile just, even if you were having a bad day, his smile would just, whatever you were mad about, it wasn't even worth being mad about anymore, because that smile just took it all away.
Plus, the manhunt continues for the person who shot into a crowd just before Detroit's fireworks show on Monday, and his accomplice coming up, one of the places investigators believe they may be hiding.
And we're also tracking kind of a nice night tonight. Temps are.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. A 4-year-old got on the live this week, right around the fireworks. It's for some reason when it get hot, because it's cold, it's usually nothing really happening. Because ain't nobody, not too many people are out when it get cold here in Michigan. Not too many people are out doing too much of nothing. Bully, no, I'm gonna say no, we don't. I do want to kind of, I am going to get with my pastor to start training ourselves on certain situations like that. I think that's very important. Right now we're in somebody else's congregation. We're in their building. And so we are there from 9 to 10:30. And they usually start coming in around 10:30, about 10:15, which is this day building. So, but yeah, I really want to talk to and I am a deacon there, me and my father-in-law. On a good day, we might have about 6 others, maybe 8 others in there with us. On a bad day, maybe about 5 of us. So it's not a big congregation. You know what I'm saying? But I get what you're saying. I do want to get with him because, I mean, he knows I carry. And so I do need to. And like I said, we moved from one person's building to another. That church we was at was off Davidson, if you know anything about Detroit. We done had random. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you a situation in church that I had to actually stop someone. We was in the saint, we was having service, and knowing what I do is, in that particular church, you had the very back pew that's on the back wall of the church, and then you maybe had about probably about this wide as the screen. You had that much space, and then you had the rest of the pews to go all the way up. So normally what I would do, I would sit over to the left hand side, because nobody would come on the left hand pew, but they would come to the back right pew. Or I would sit up a pew or up 2 pews and kind of watch the door. That's kind of what I do now. But with this other church, people come from the side. So when they come from the side entrance, I'm at the back 3rd row, so I'm able to watch what's going on in front of me compared to at the other church. Now, if somebody wants to come through the front, you're going to have to break some glass. So I'm already kind of aware to hear for glass breaking unless they have a spark plug or somewhere where they can cut a hole in it and kind of open it up. I don't know if they have an alarm on their door or not, but it's glass. So I know I kind of hear out for what's going on. I kind of walk the church premises through service. And I do carry my light duty vest with me, just in case something pops off. But and now when I can see what's going on and who's coming in. Now if they come downstairs and come around, then I kind of, you can, and once you open up the door, it's a beep that'll go off on the side of the door. So I kind of know, okay, somebody should be coming up these. It's like four or five steps. You hook a left and then you come on in the sanctuary. So once I hear that beep, I kind of my antennas go up. And if nobody walks, okay, well, let me go down here. I know how to maneuver where I can go out the back of the sanctuary, bend the left, go down some stairs and go down another flight of stairs, and they have a basement. Well, the man's bathroom, and then once you hook that left, you have that kitchen and the area where they eat at. So I kind of know the church because we've been there now probably a couple months now, probably. So I kind of know the whole layout of the church. So I every once in a while, within that hour and a half, I'm probably checking around the church maybe 2 to 3 times before 10 o'clock, before 10:15, because I know the other members of the other churches coming in and they're starting to do their thing. So between 9 and 10:15, I'm checking around the church, making sure ain't no stragglers came in and just, doing what they want to do. So I'm the one, I believe I'm the only one that's carrying in the church. But like I told you, I have my light. I didn't bring it today. I kind of forgot it at home. But normally I am carrying I carry 3 extra mags, and I carry a little bitty book bag that has my 3 extra mags in it, my Bible, because I normally do my Bible, my headphones and stuff, and that's it. That's in my little Jordan bag, just enough to fit that stuff in. And that's a 15 round in there, it's a 13 round in there, and it's a 14 round in there. And I automatically carry 15 and 15 with 1 in the head. So I have 31 rounds on me while I'm perimetering the church, while I'm going around the church. I'm checking the perimeters, and I have 3 extra mags sitting in my bag if I have to use them. And so that's what I do at church. But let's go to this. I'm gonna show these 2 videos, and Bulletproof, I want you to let me know what you think.
In the mid 70s, low 70s in Lansing. We do see heat return as early as tomorrow. We'll time out just how hot we get in the forecast coming up.
Working for you. Fox 2 News at 10 starts now.
He's the baby of the bunch, so everybody just gravitated to him. Everybody, no matter what family event, that was everybody's little man.
My son was very helpful to a lot of people.
And tonight, family, friends, and the community are mourning the lives of 2 young souls taken by senseless gun violence, shot on the east side of Detroit. Welcome to Fox 2 News at 10. I'm Hillary Golston. Last night, 3 people were shot near Denby High School. 2 were killed, including 4-year-old Samir and 18-year-old Davion. Now the chorus calling for whoever is responsible to turn themselves in is growing louder and louder. Fox 2's Camila Mary joins us live. She spoke with members of their families. Camille, this is just so heartbreaking, and there's clearly collateral damage here in the people who have to now pick up the pieces after this awful tragedy.
Yeah, it's horrible on so many levels, Hillary. And let me tell you that originally they did have 2 people in custody. They were questioned but released because police determined that they were not the people responsible. So whoever did this is still out there. Two young Detroiters shot and killed at a park Friday night during a drive-by shooting on Detroit's east side. A third, a 17-year-old boy, was shot but survived.
Children cannot play at parks in our city and be safe like they should be. Can't sit on their porches or in their homes and play their games safe like they should.
4-year-old Samir Grubbs hit by gunfire while he was climbing up the ladder of the slide at Skinner Park, there to play with his siblings.
They beat me out the car because they loved the park. So they got out the car and I was like, okay, getting ready to get out the car when the shots started.
18-year-old Davion Shelmanson Bay also shot and killed.
I just used to raise them a hobby protector, so I found out he jumped in front of a bullet to save somebody else. Something that I probably would have did. And the little boy, whoever he saved, lived. He died in the process. He reacted, he reacted to save somebody else. I don't even think he thought about it. He just did it,
Meanwhile, Samir's mom says they actually went to another park, but it was too crowded, so they came here to Skinner Park.
So I was like, well, we'll just go by the, go to the park by the house, like there's no one ever there. And, I wish I could take it back. Wish I would have just stayed at that park,
Parents of both victims sharing sentiments about their children. Samir's mom.
Oh, he was the life of the party. Samir was the baby of my 6. He's the baby of the bunch, so everybody just gravitated to him. Everybody, no matter what family event, that was everybody's little man.
The family's pastor.
4 years old with the mind of a 40-year-old. Knew how to respect his elders, knew how to treat people.
And Davion's father.
His passion was photography. He loved to do that, and he loved building mini bikes. That was one of his passions with him and his big brother here.
Now, this happened in broad daylight, as you saw in the video. It wasn't late at night. Meanwhile, police believe that the pickup truck that the suspects were driving, a dark-colored Dodge Ram pickup truck, either dark red or black in color. Of course, if anybody knows anything watching this, they're encouraged to call DPD or, of course, Crime Stoppers at 1-800.
I had to stop the video. I didn't know. Man, that's 2 parents that have lost a 4-year-old and an 18-year-old. Collateral damage. For what? Oh, that just broke my heart. I couldn't fathom. I couldn't fathom, man. That's a hard one. Sorry, y'all. That's a hard one. Man, that's hard.
Speak up and you will always remain anonymous. For now, we're live outside DPD headquarters.
That was a lot.
Yeah, we were talking about that collateral damage there. Even Reverend Rideout being hit so hard by this terrible incident, having over the course of 3 decades to eulogize 3 babies. You could just sense in his emotion that he's fed up with it, like the community, Camille.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the beginning of the summer, right? I mean, technically, summer started June 21st, which was last weekend. So are we going to have things like this happen all summer long? I mean, that's something that nobody wants, but we're off to such a horrible start with the fireworks shooting and now this. What's next? This 4-year-old little boy just wanted to ride, play on the slide, and he was shot and killed. I mean, something has got to change.
Yeah, absolutely. And he deserved to feel safe and to be safe in his own park. Thank you, Camille Amiri, live for us tonight.
That's tough.
Have said that they would bring him in, and that they will cooperate. But at this particular point, we believe that friends and some family members are helping Mr. Cooper to avoid apprehension.
And you heard Camille reference it there. The search continues for 2 people who police believe were involved in 2 others being shot, one of them just in the wrong place at the wrong time. This happened just before the fireworks show in Detroit. Both teens are possibly armed, dangerous, and on the run. And now Detroit police are urging anyone with information to help bring the people responsible into custody. Fox 2's Jessica Dubnak helps us understand where investigators think they could be hiding.
We encourage folks to leave their weapons at home, and not everybody listens.
This guy allegedly did 19-year-old Alfonso.
Hey, Bully, I want you to respond to the chief of Detroit. We told everybody to leave their guns at home. And the reporter says, apparently, everybody didn't listen. How do you respond to that? He's 19 and 17. His accomplice is 17 years old. So basically, it's saying people that done went through the course, people that handle their guns properly, respectfully, and don't do nothing to nobody, we should leave our guns at home while they bring. First of all, he's not even supposed to have a pistol on him at all, and the fact that he's beefing. Oh, let me finish this story, and then I want to get. Ain't nobody really
Cooper Jr. on the run after police say he was popping off rounds in a large crowd minutes before the massive fireworks display in downtown Detroit last Monday. Two shot, a 22-year-old woman, just an innocent bystander, and a 17-year-old boy who was the intended target.
The two knew each other, and that it was over a debt where approximately $200 and some change.
They brought the beef from Romulus and Brownstown Township downtown to settle, causing chaos in the crowds near Larned and Randolph. Cooper and his alleged accomplice, 18-year-old Markolo Steen Jr., were able to slip out in the aftermath and into the wind.
I believe that he's hiding in a hotel room
in the suburbs, not Detroit. Apparently, Cooper's family and friends told Detroit police detectives they'd hand him over this week, but never did. Chief Todd Bettison thinks instead they're helping hide him.
Trust me, I will be contacting the U.S. Attorney, and I will use every aspect of law enforcement to hold you accountable as well for aiding and abetting.
The pressure is on to bring them into custody, and DPD is leaning on the public to help.
When you see his picture, or you see him anywhere, I do not want him to have an enjoyable, stress-free weekend.
Jessica Dupnack, Fox 2 News.
New tonight, something we never want to have to report. A 12-year-old boy arrested by police. Investigators think he was involved in a string of car thefts in Pontiac. The Oakland County Sheriff's Office says the boy broke into several cars in a business parking lot. Investigators later found the kid had allegedly taken 3 or 4 vehicles over the past month and even sold at least one for $30. This case, of course, is under investigation.
Boy.
Even in mild temperatures, that leaving.
He over here stealing cars and sold one for $30. And if you bought that for $30, you an idiot. I'm sorry. Whoever bought the car, if you owed it, boy, I would have popped him in his head. You don't get the hell on away from me. Is you stupid? Sold the car for $30. But all joking aside, man, we gotta call the spade a spade, man. He wasn't supposed to have a firearm. Let's not putting people that's not in his category in his category. I shouldn't have to leave my gun at home. I'm not going to go out here to do anything to jeopardize what I have. I'm not losing my house. I'm not losing my children. I'm not losing my life, my wife, or my life to idiocy. So no, I shouldn't leave my gun at home. But once again, we make excuses for them, but we put the burden on people like us that knows what to do and what not to do. First thing you do is try to de-escalate the situation. Try to walk away. Do everything you can before you have to pull out that firearm. First of all, I'm not wasting no bullets to shoot no air. I'm not doing that. You do that, you're an idiot. I'm not just going, I see somebody just start shooting in the air. I don't have bullets to waste. If I want to waste bullets, I'll take my butt to somebody's gun range and I'll throw a couple down range. But just to shoot in the air, no. Thank you. Not worth it. Not worth it. And so let's do this other one. What do you think, Bully and Patrick? What do y'all think about that comment? We should leave our guns at home. So this is another incident here in Michigan. And I said the same thing, Bully. I haven't been down to the firearm. I haven't been down to the city for a firework in, I want to say, in 10 plus years. First of all, it's crowd. First of all, I don't see how anybody was standing out there when it was so hot. We have had 80 to 90 degree weather here in Michigan. I don't understand how they standing out in crowds sweating their butts off just to see some fireworks. So if I was off work, I wasn't going down there regardless. It was too hot. Who want to sit out and I don't want to be around you, hot, sweaty, you rubbing against me, I'm rubbing against you. No. The heat wasn't even attractive to be going down there watching some fireworks. So that was the first thing. It's too hot. I don't leave home without mine either. So I'm just like Bully. I've been here too long. What's up, Well-Dressed Tactical, man? I got a celebrity in the house, y'all. And that's my guy, man. Go over there and look at Well-Dressed Tactical, man. He has a fire collection, man. I've been loving his channel ever since, man. What's going on? And shout out to Well-Dressed. He was talking about carrying in his church. But the thing with the law is the pastor has to know that you're carrying, just in case you have to defend the congregation and so much and so on. But that was the first thing. It was too hot. I don't feel like being around a bunch of folks, people rubbing on me accidentally bumping them. It just that wasn't a vibe. I don't understand how they still. And then people were saying the fireworks probably didn't start till about 9. They said people was out there 6, 7 in the afternoon, 8 in the afternoon waiting for fireworks. It was too hot. My wife had the air conditioner on since last week. And you see, I'm still coughing and from being in the house. It's been so cold. So I got a cold from being in the house. Scratchy, itchy throat. Being in the house, not being outside in the heat, but being in the house in the cold. So it's been too hot. That was the first thing. It was too hot to be out there. It was too many people downtown. I don't like crowds. There's always some with downtown Detroit and crowds. And a lot of the time people don't even live in the inner city of Detroit that start the bull crap. That's what kills me. These guys is in Romulus. Quote unquote, they're from Romulus. That's where the beef, that's where the so quote unquote how the stuff even happened was because of a $200 and some change conflict. So y'all don't do that at Romulus. Y'all wait till a big event for downtown Detroit, and then y'all bring it to the city of Detroit. And now here go the chief talking about what everybody should left their guns at home. No, everybody shouldn't. They shouldn't have brought a gun legally because they can't own a pistol at the age of 18, 17, and 19. They shouldn't have brought their pistols. That's who shouldn't have brought theirs. But people that's done been through the course, people that have paid their money to keep their license, people that understand that you don't just go shoot at nobody because you can lose your license, you can lose everything that you work for. Stop putting us in that category. You know what I'm saying? Why do we got to be put in that category? I'm going on 42. Don't put me in that category with them young bucks. Just because he ain't have no guidance, ain't got nothing to do with me. I mean, I wish somebody would have taught him something that you don't shoot in the air. You're wasting ammo, idiot. Go shoot at the range if you want to waste some ammo. not in the air with a crowd full of folks with children, elderly people, women. It's a no to some things, man. And these youngsters don't understand respect. They don't even respect themselves, let alone respect the public. So I disagree with him telling everybody to leave their firearms at home. If you have something to lose, then you're not going to be an idiot with a firearm. You think this house is getting paid for because of my looks? No, I have to go to work every day. It don't just pay for itself. It don't pay. My kids don't get to just lay here. They get to lay here, enjoy TV, enjoy electricity, enjoy water, enjoy YouTube, enjoy the PlayStation, enjoy the Meta. They enjoy all this because somebody has to go out and work. And I'm not willing to lose what I have because an idiot is having a bad day. We all have bad days. How do you deal with your bad day is a question. The answer is up to you. And so a lot of times, like I said, I haven't been down to the Detroit. Now they have a Livonia fireworks today. I might go to that one because there's no shooting in Livonia. They don't play with you in Livonia. Everybody comes to the city of Detroit, do they dirt. They dump in Detroit. Detroit is a laughing stock of Michigan. They don't have enough policemen. You know what I'm saying? When I tried in 17, they denied me. When I tried in 17, they denied me. So I couldn't understand what was they looking for in a police officer. I mean, I don't have no felonies. I don't have no domestic charges. Yeah, I done had a ticket. I done had tickets to where my license got suspended in my early 20s. I done kept my same job over 10 years. So, I mean, I couldn't understand why they didn't. But at the same time, my hours got picked up. I forgot about them. I made 80 grand a year. So I wasn't even, but I was hurt at first. I'm not going to lie. But once that money started rolling, I kind of got out my feelings. Made some big money. And so I didn't worry about it until now. So I'm back in the process of trying to be a sheriff. And it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And maybe it wasn't my time to be one, but we'll see how everything goes. I'm still trying to get that together. Hopefully I get something going because my physical ability test ends in August. So I got to August to kind of, y'all need to hurry up. So anyways, I'm being patient. Wherever God leads me, that's where I'm going to be. But they got to stop. All right, Bully, man, I appreciate you coming through, buddy. I appreciate you for sure. And we're going to do this last one, then I'm going to get out of here. I enjoyed you guys. I said either 1 or 2 hours. We're going on 2 hours. Great topic, great talk. Because it's why do we have to leave our firearms at home when we're responsible? Why is it every time y'all get on the news, some agency says y'all need to leave y'all firearms at home, but they're not even supposed to have pistols. They didn't shoot with a rifle. They shot with pistols. They're not supposed to even have pistols. And I'm quite sure anybody in their family with any type of common sense will not. And the only time you can even deal with a firearm if you're going to the firing range. And that can't even be in your possession. That has to be locked up in a trunk somewhere. So you can't even ride around with it openly. Let's stop sugarcoating it. They shouldn't have had guns in the first. They shouldn't have pistols in the first place. They needed to leave their pistols at home. It probably even wasn't a pistol that they brought down there. That probably was illegally purchased or stole it from somewhere. I don't know. But let's stop doing it to us. Y'all, the media is something else. Stop doing it to us. Don't put me in that category with them. They black kings, but they acting ignorant. They acting like niggas. Ignorant, ignorant, ignorant. All right, let's do this last video and then we done.
Near the church also captured what seemed to be multiple rounds of gunfire. Police say the gunman was driving erratically near the church, then got out of his vehicle wearing a tactical vest and carrying a rifle and a handgun, and began firing as he approached the building. That's when a church member and other staffers confronted him.
A parishioner struck the gunman with his vehicle as the gunman shot the vehicle repeatedly. At least 2 staff members shot the gunman, causing fatal wounds.
The gunman has been identified as 31-year-old Brian Anthony Browning from a nearby town. Police initially said the man had no connection to the church, but other reports say Browning's mother is a member and that the suspect attended 2 or 3 services over the course of the last year.
We are grateful for the heroic actions of the church's staff members, who undoubtedly saved many lives and prevented a large-scale mass shooting.
One church member was shot in the leg during the incident. The pastor said church members and staff have been trained to respond to emergency situations, which saved lives. Dale Hurd, CBN News.
We've got.
Now, I'm going to say shout out to the Wayne County Sheriff Department for saying, thank God for them putting him down, for unaliving him, because he was in the wrong. Not them. He was in the wrong. That's the type of person that I like that's in charge. He's not going to make excuses, but he's going to say, thank you to the heroic efforts of the people that was in that church. Not know they need to leave their guns at home. No, they did an excellent job from preventing a mass shooting. Shout out to that congregation and that pastor for understanding the world that he lives in, that it could be a possibility that danger can knock on the church's door or land right on the church's front step. No matter what religion you're in, and it's been proven over these last 10 years, no matter where you at, you don't have nothing to do with what's going on, but because you are there, you could be taking your last breath. Think about that. I want y'all to think about that. Think about that long and hard. Movie theaters, gun-free zone. Why would you make it a gun-free zone after that mass shooting? I think it was LA with the young man coming there dressed as Joker. Mentally disturbed or not, I don't know which one he is, but he seemed to be mentally disturbed. But he decides to take it out on people he does not even know. And then the y'all response in Congress is to ban firearms from movie theaters. I go to a movie theater where there's an officer in it, which is in the suburbs. And I go to another movie theater, which is in the suburb, which does not have a police officer there on duty. One police officer somewhere else and another one at another movie theater, and there's not a police officer. You think I'm about to pay y'all my money and go into a theater after somebody dressed like the Joker on Batman premiere? I think that might have been Batman Return on a premiere, and shoots up the theater and think I'm just going to say, oh, well, they said I need to leave my gun at home. Is you a fool? Staff might not carry no gun. Hey, whatever. I ain't staff. So you're not going to tell me to leave my gun at home after somebody that came to the movie theater and then shot it up on a Batman's movie premiere and think I feel safe in the theater? I don't. I barely go, but sometimes I do like to go to the theater and watch a movie. I think my wife. Oh, that was Colorado, 2012. There you go. When that happened, 2012. And their response was, well, let's make movie theaters a gun-free zone. Is you an idiot? Really? And then these are the people we have in our that's making the laws. You must be an idiot. 12 dead, 70 injured. That's what it was. Thank you, DJ Play Nice. 12 people and 70 injured. 12 unalive and 70 injured. The people that made that law can go to hell. And I'm sorry, it's a Sunday. I just got a church, but I'm going to say it. The people that made that law after that massacre in Colorado can go to hell. Because obviously he not going to theaters. He can't be. He must get all his stuff rented at home in the comfort of his home, probably at a gate guarded by a guard with an AR-15 and a pistol on his hip. Because y'all must be smoking some nice dope to think after that I was not going to bring my... That even encouraged me even more to say, yeah, I thought it was safe to go to movie theaters, but nah, I'm straight. And so, well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I am. But guess what? I don't want to find out if I am. That's just me. Man, I appreciate every single one of y'all coming into this live. I did kind of put it out there early. I need to start doing my thumbnails early. That's what I need to start doing. It's me. It's not y'all. It's me. I put stuff out late. I'm here and there with the YouTube thing, and so I got to get better. I'm not gonna lie. I got to get better. But shout out to DJ Play Nice for throwing some valuable information up here. If you know someone that's going through something, definitely have them hit that dang, it got hot in here. Hit that hotline, man, and definitely talk to someone. It doesn't cost. And I've talked to a friend of mine that hasn't went outside our conversation. And that's the same thing with me. When he tells me something, it don't go outside our conversation. If you don't trust nobody around you, pick up the phone, call this number. Shout out to DJ Play Nice for posting this up for us. If you don't know nobody that's in your area, you don't know a family member that you can talk to, there go a number you can talk to. Or if you don't want to talk, you can also text. It gives you the hit the word text, talk to a particular number, and you will get some local assistance. So talking is healthy. Venting is healthy, as long as it's healthy venting. Not talking about I'm about to go this. No, that's not healthy venting. We all got to have an outlet, whatever outlet that is. I have a homeboy that I can call. I can get stuff off my chest, and I know one go past me and him. And I'm the same way with him. Whatever he going through, he give me a hit. It's not going outside me and him. So if you can't get a solid person in your circle that you can trust, that won't go back and run their mouth, then definitely hit this number up, man. Thank you, DJ Play Nice, man. He's always been one of my number one supporters since I started my YouTube. Shout out to him. Once he found my channel, he's been supporting me ever since. So shout out to DJ Play Nice, man, and what he continues to do on my channel. I appreciate him. Ain't nothing wrong with telling somebody you appreciate them. So thank you, brother, for always rocking with your boy when I jump on here. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I truly do appreciate you guys' support and continue to return. Thank you, DJ Play Nice. Everybody, man, have a safe week. I am, and I plan. Well, it is. Well, I'll be here. I'm not doing that Sunday, so I'll be back on Sunday. I am going to make the thumbnail either today or definitely tomorrow. But I thank you guys for tuning in, man. Be safe, man. Like I just showed you, man. Some siblings at the park, they come shoot the park up, end up hitting, or friends or something, just random people at the park, man. And you had a 4-year-old get hit and a 17-year-old hit. The 17-year-old jumped in front of another kid to save that kid's life. And to the mother and father of the other two kids, man. My heart goes out off a senseless shooting that unfortunately unalived 2 precious children. 17, he's not even grown yet. He's still a child, man. My son will be 15 in September, man. He ain't number 2 years away from my son, man. So my heart pulls out to both of them families. Unfortunately, you got an idiot with a gun. Once again, it's shooting in direction. Don't know where you're shooting, but you hit two children in the process. And now you destroy 2 family lives over because you're angry or whatever the reason is. It's not justified for striking 2 children. I'm quite sure they had nothing to do with what you had going on. And unfortunately, we get a lot of this these days with these teenagers. Just shooting. Regard of the safety of the people that surround them or nothing, that's 2 incidents where a woman gets shot in her leg for being downtown, and then you got some kids at the playground can't play in the neighborhood playground because you got idiots running around with guns shooting. And now you unalive a 4-year-old, and now you have taken away a 70-year-old for what? For your selfish purpose, for your selfish greed. We ain't got a month into the summer here in Michigan, and they acting the donkeys for what? It's crazy. It's crazy, man. So I'm gonna end it on condolences to them 2 families that lost their baby boys. We're just going to play on the playground, going to swing, going and go down the slide. And they'll never be able to do that again. And she had 6, so he had 5 older brothers and sisters. That's a hard one. Senseless is senseless and it's stupid for these kids to go out here, and grown folks. It's not just kids, but it's grown folks too, to be shooting in a crowd full of folks. They don't knuckle up no more. I tell my son now, don't. If you can avoid it, leave it alone. But if you have to defend yourself, defend yourself. But for the most part, try to leave it alone. I'm all about defending yourself, but first try to de-escalate. Try to get out there with clean hands, out of that situation with clean hands, and make it home to come get me or your mother. But I prefer you to come get me. They don't fight no more, they shoot. And unfortunately, our children are paying a very valuable price because of stupidity. 4 years old, 17 years old, 4-year-old ain't even begun to begin his life. The 17-year-old is close, is not even close as well to beginning his life. They are beginning their lives, yes, they are living, they're breathing, they're doing what they need to do. But as far as just, it's heartbreaking. And I'm speaking to you as a father. That hurt. I feel for that father and I feel for that mother. That hurts. They would never be able to see. She would never be able to see her boy turn 5. Would never see her boy graduate elementary. Would never see her boy graduate middle school. Would never see her boy go on to graduate high school. That father would never see his son graduate high school because of an idiot shooting out of the car into or walking, shooting, whichever way it happened, shooting in the crowd for the children. And the 17-year-old distinctly jumps in front of another kid and gives his life and gives his life to save that kid. It's not even a month into of it being hot, and we already have children under the age of 18, 2 right now, that have lost their life due to gun violence because of ignorance. If you have nephews, if you have nieces, be there. If you have children, be there for them. I've told my nieces and my nephews, you don't have to go pick up a gun to figure out what a gun does. Give me a call. I will take your butt to the gun range and you can shoot all day long. I don't need the world to teach them. I don't need the streets to teach them. I don't need the streets to show them. I don't need the world to show them. I can show them on my own. The correct way, how to handle one, the safety measures you have to take when you handle a firearm. And you can shoot whatever you want to. Wide range of my collection you can shoot. So if you have knuckleheads trying to reach them, we're not going to be able to reach them all. But if they're in your facility or in the same state you're in, make it your duty to take them to the gun range. Let them know what it feels like for that bullet to come out that barrel. Because once that bullet comes out that barrel, you can't take it back. There is no take backs. You can't take it back. So if you if you unalive a innocent bystander, then you got to deal with the consequences. So with that being said, man, y'all be great. Y'all stay safe this week. I will see y'all next Sunday. I will more than likely be posting the thumbnail tomorrow. I will be sending it out on my social media platforms to be scheduled for Sunday. And I'll catch y'all later on, man. Y'all be safe. Love y'all. Peace.